Buenos dias and bienvenidos. I'm Jennifer Raab and have the great privilege of being the president of Hunter College of the City University of New York, the place where the American dream still comes true. It is my honor to welcome you to the summit on the challenges and opportunities of rebuilding Puerto Rico 2 years after Hurricane Maria. All of us at Hunter are proud that our Centro, our renowned library and archive of Puerto Rican studies, has brought together this extraordinary group of participants, a who's who of Puerto Rican leaders and major figures from the private and public sectors to focus on this challenge. I bring greetings from our trustee, Lorraine Cortes Vasquez, who's actually in Puerto Rico now, and also a special welcome from our Hunter teammate, Luis Reyes, who's also in New York State Region. We are so grateful to Centro's director, Edwin Melendez, for organizing this historic conference, and for the extraordinary team at Centro, and particularly Carlos Vargas Ramos. And Carlos, I'm going to give you a round of applause. You've done a lot of work. Centro is always on the forefront of combining scholarship with activism. And Centro's work, and the work you will all be doing, could not be more urgent. Because, as we all know, countless and thousands of the island's residents are still reeling from the devastation of Maria and its destructive predecessor 2 weeks earlier, Hurricane Irma. Tens of thousands more have had to leave the island to seek safety, shelter, schooling, and work on the mainland, striking yet another blow at an economy that was already in a state of emergency. This is a crisis that demands a response from all of us, because one way or another, all of us are affected. And I strongly believe it is a crisis that demands the best of academia as well as government, because it is the creative thinkers, the researchers, and the activists who will move the needle on the challenges facing Puerto Rico. Fortunately, many of the best and brightest minds are gathered in this room, and I am confident that you will come together to help forge a path forward towards a vibrant Puerto Rico. We here at Hunter feel privileged to host you, and we are proud that Hunter faculty like Professor Yaroma Bonilla are a part of this vitally important undertaking. In fact, if there's an overarching theme that ties together all that you will accomplish during these 2 days, let it be Hunter's motto, Mihi Cura Futori, the care of the future is mine. There could be no simpler and better way to describe your mission. And there could be no better place in which to hold this conference than here in the Silverman Building, the home of Hunter School of Social Work. The building is special to all of us because it is filled with the spirit of a special Puerto Rican woman whose dedication to public service helped lead to its creation, the late Antonia Pantoja. Antonia Pantoja, as you know, was a social worker, educator, feminist, and tireless advocate whose extraordinary accomplishments, including creating the Puerto Rican Forum for Economic Self-Sufficiency and launching Aspira, which numbers among the scores of outstanding graduates our CUNY trustee, Freddie Ferrer. Antonia was the first Puerto Rican woman to receive a Presidential Medal of Freedom, and I'm very proud to say was a Hunter graduate of the class of 1952. She enrolled at Hunter after working as a welder during World War II. It was a financial struggle she wrote about in her memoir, including this memorable quote. To get to Hunter, she said, I rode the Lexington Avenue subway from my home on the Lower East Side. I would buy a sandwich at an automat and eat it on the subway while reading my assignments. I wore the same skirt and slacks all those years. I used to say that if I put them on the subway, they would know where to go by themselves. Never was this Hunter grad's impact greater than when she convinced a New York businessman who was visiting his cigar factory in Puerto Rico of the critical importance of her chosen profession, social work. Samuel Silverman was so moved that he agreed to underwrite a building on the Upper East Side to house Hunter's School of Social Work. When I arrived at Hunter, however, I became convinced that the school needed to be located in a community where it could live its mission of community development. And so, with the generous support of Sam's widow Lois and the Silverman Foundation and the Central CUNY office, we engineered an ingenious real estate swap to erect this beautiful building and move the School of Social Work and Centro to East Harlem. I'm so pleased that Antonia's partner is expected to be with us today, Dr. Wilhelmina Perry. And I feel sure that Antonia would be so proud to know that Centro, where her archives are housed, is located in this East Harlem building, and that it has emerged as one of the nation's foremost centers for Puerto Rican research and studies. The inspiring talk she gave Sam Silverman that day in Puerto Rico has come full circle. Antonia will be proud that Centro is hosting this conference and that we are here at her alma mater, with Hunter pledging to work with you in finding solutions with Puerto Rico's many challenges. Now, as I introduce the next speaker, I want to tell you just a little bit about his history with Hunter College, because in my earliest days as president, he was Centro's director. I was immediately impressed by his talented leadership and had the privilege of working with him on several innovative Centro projects. One of those initiatives was arranging the acquisition of Antonio's papers to Centro. And one of my proudest and deepest memories is his introducing me to this extraordinary alumna and activist as we accepted Antonio Pantoja's archives at Centro. I am speaking, of course, of the Chancellor of the City University of New York, Felix Matros Rodriguez, known to his legion of friends and admirers. So think about it. Phalo. It's like Madonna or Cher or Bono. You just say Phalo and everybody knows who you mean. I'm going to make a confession now. When Phalo took a leave of absence from Centro's directorship in Hunter in 2005 to serve as an advisor to the governor of Puerto Rico, I left his position at Centro open far too long. He had done such a fantastic job at Centro that I just kept hoping he'd come back to us. But it was not to be. He was so good as an advisor to the governor of Puerto Rico that he was promoted to the cabinet as Secretary of Family Services. And when Phalo did eventually return to CUNY, it was not as Centro director, but as president of Ostos Community College. Then, because he was so good at that job, he was promoted to the president of one of the finest senior colleges, Queens College. And of course now he's chancellor and my boss. I couldn't be happier about that. His elevation to chancellor makes him the first member of an underrepresented minority group to lead CUNY, and it's about time. Latino educators. That is enormously important at a time when providing top quality, affordable higher education for every member of every social and ethnic group is an urgent national need. I have to be very clear that this is something that all the presidents are so excited to have our colleague to be in this leadership position. I am so fortunate to have known Phalo, who's a gifted scholar, an educator, and an administrator, as a friend and colleague for these 18 years. On behalf of my fellow CUNY presidents, I can say that his appointment as a leader is an inspiration for all of us, and I know for the whole community. So Phalo, bienvenidos, estás en su casa, welcome, welcome.